Hey, buddy. Congrats on getting your rig. It's a big moment. I remember when I did that for the first time, and built it myself and everything, and it's exciting time. So congrats, my friend. Welcome to the big boy club of gaming. So I just wanted to show you a couple big things that I messed up when I first got my new hardware. Specifically, just a couple of quick settings. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but if at any point in time you actually feel that your computer's not running optimally, there's something that maybe you just don't understand or you're running into issue, don't hesitate to reach out. Like honestly, I've probably spent over like 500 hours just learning about computer things, just because as you become a gamer, I'm sure you're going to do the same thing, but no point in wasting the time. So I'm happy to help if you need anything. But just a couple quick settings, right? If you want to go over anything in more detail, more than happy to. I could literally be talking for hours about this stuff, but I'll just keep it as simple as possible. First thing, you want to get into your NVIDIA panel here, and you want to click your control panel. Okay, so it's the first thing. It's going to look like this. The first thing you want to do, change resolution, make sure it's 144 hertz here, make sure it's on your highest resolution under the PC. Don't play with any of this. This is TV settings. The second thing is you want to check if you have G-Sync, right? So if when you click here, set up G-Sync, this is all enabled. Like you can click enable G-Sync, enable for full screen mode, enable that. Click all of that, right? Enable it only for full screen, enable the settings for this monitor, and hit apply. Right, so those are the two first things. G-Sync's a game changer. The resolution's way bigger, but even more of it, like 144 hertz is the biggest thing you'll need to upgrade or like to need to activate. After that, G-Sync's like an extra little super nice little lines everything up and syncs everything together. But keep in mind that G-Sync comes with a couple of key settings as well. What it basically does is it aligns your monitor's hertz to your frame rates, so you don't see anything that's like misaligning or any screen tearing. And I would just copy my settings here. These are settings for perfect highest performance out of your rig. I'm not going to sit here and say that you need that, but I would just start here and then I would increase things and just play with it, right? Like try to get into the habit of really learning your instrument and really learning your hardware and playing around with some of these settings and learning about them, watching YouTube videos, just getting into it. No, I wouldn't say now. I would say just over the next, as you basically get to know and love your computer. But if you have any questions, let me know. I mean, I've basically gone into every single one of these and battle tested them individually over different games for a period of, I don't know, all my life. So, and Reddit's got a lot to say about this, YouTube, all that stuff, but there's a lot of good settings here. But for now, I'd say the easiest way is just copy this. Just be careful if G-Sync for whatever reason is not set up, like if your monitor was 144 hertz but not G-Sync compatible, or for whatever reason your video card, I'm pretty sure you'll have it, but if for whatever reason it's not, make sure you don't have this, and this would correct setting would be fixed refresh. The max frame rate would be off, but if you are G-Sync compatible, I would set this exactly like mine. Max frame rate 129, G-Sync compatible, and this will really help a lot with a lot of different things. Copy all these other settings, right? You can just kind of pause this video and really get these all input in. So that's pretty key right there. The last thing I would say is also make sure you have your GeForce experience, right? It's gonna if you click on your drivers here, it's gonna allow you to update your drivers. I would keep those updated, right? Maybe not like right away, but usually they're outputting new driver updates for different games and different things, and working with developers as they come out. So this is, pretty much a pretty safe but important thing to keep optimized and updated. So that's pretty key. It might have come with some really, really old drivers, so I would probably check into what version you have. Like if you have the same version as mine, you're fine. I mean, I haven't updated mine from the recent driver, but I'm not sure if when you go where yours is at right now, if that's even close to this. So maybe you would want to start with this. But I'm pretty sure when they installed everything, they would have updated your drivers. So I think you're okay. Um, when you do play a game, right, and you go to your home, you can click this optimize button, right? If you're not sure what settings do in game, right? So this will show you the in-game settings. So this is not the NVIDIA control panel we were just looking at. That's actually like the settings for your graphics card, like your dedicated graphics card. In this program, you can actually optimize your in-game settings. So this, for example, is like Call of Duty. Obviously, you can just change these settings in the game itself. But what this kind of helps with is that if you're ever confused, you don't know what, tessellation is, like, what do I set for this? Or how do I set? This is always going to try to find a balance between making it look good, but not taxing your performance too much. So what I like to do is I like to start with what they recommend because they're basically trying to push for what looks good, but is not too, looking at your hardware, what's not too crazy. And then you can kind of downgrade from there. I wouldn't go optimize and then upgrade because then you're probably going to see big performance issues. And I haven't gamed with you myself, so I don't know what kind of gamer you are, but from what I hear, you probably are looking for the quickest response times, the quickest frame rates, the lowest amount of input lag, just like the most crispy performance. And in that case, like most professional gamers and any esports player, I don't care if they have a $10,000 rig, they're playing with things disabled. They're just running everything at like absolute highest performance possible where milliseconds counts. But that's up to you, right? Like if you're playing a lot of first person shooters, a lot of battle royales, a lot of things like that where you're like really trying to get sweaty, as like performance is probably the key. But when you're, playing games more like The Witcher or some RPGs, or you get into some more beautiful, like designed games, with the graphics cards that you have and the hardware that you have, you can run them. So turn them graphics up, like try to test and see like how high you can go till you start seeing stuttering, till you start seeing like little issues. Like what a struggling hardware computer feels like, right? It's probably what you were experiencing on your laptop. So if you start getting any resemblance of that, then it's really a settings thing. You really need to optimize and just try to play with what you can as far as like how to tune your instrument to accommodate for that developer, that game, however it goes. And it's just like a constant battle, right? I'm not even gonna say that I know how to optimize all my games perfectly. I even still re-optimize before I play. But those are the big three things that I literally didn't do for 3 months, and then I turned them on one day, and I was like, oh my God, that's why I spent all this money on this equipment. So don't make that mistake, right? That's the only reason why I'm setting this video. Just those three things. NVIDIA, update your drivers. The GeForce NVIDIA panel, turn on your refresh rate. Check out your G-Sync and reset those settings. Other than that, my friend, you're going to be locked and loaded, and you're going to have a lot of fun to get this all set up. And I am a little bit jelly, right? A little bit jealous of what you got. So enjoy it, have a lot of fun, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything, man. Enjoy. Happy gaming.